from the bottom, ain't no problems, we gon' make a way. Got no coach on the field, but we making plays. Hey, look, don't worry, we gon' be okay. Hey, look, why? Cause we gon' make them pay. We from
And let's get to our last and final game. Oh man, this is pretty much a home game right here for one of these teams. We got Louisiana taking on Marshall and the RL's Carriers New Orleans Bowl. Let me see if this game's going on in the Superdome. I'll find that out here shortly. But this line, let me pull it up. Excuse me, not on my stuff right now. Yep. So this game is going on. Yep, in the Superdome, like I thought. So the Raging Cajuns got a chance to finish their great year. They're 12-1, 6-7 against the spread. They can finish their season in the Caesars Superdome. Taking on the Marshall Thunder and her 7-5 on the year, 6-6 against the spread. This line opened up in favor of Louisiana -6. Right now, that line's at -5, and the total opened up at 49.5. Right now, that line's at 54. There are some 53.5s on the board as well. Injury reports for Louisiana. They got quite a few. A lot of guys who were injured last game, but they do have some question marks there too. So be sure to do your research right there. While Marshall, they're fairly healthy. McDaniels, the running back, he is out, and wide receiver Keaton, he's out as well. So no real big significant injuries on both sides of these teams. But again, tune into Twitter to check that out. So in the Sun Belt Championship, Louisiana was able to win 24-16 against Appalachian State. They swept them on the year. While Marshall, this is big, they lost 53-21 against Western Kentucky, a game that they were up 21-9 in the first half, and gave up all those points. Western Kentucky scored 24 in the third quarter, 23 in the fourth quarter, because I was watching that game. Get to these actual factuals. Louisiana 4-2 against spread last 6 games this season. The unders hit 8 out of last 10. They're 10-0 straight up in the last 10 games. They're 12-0 straight up in the last 12 games this season. 1-4 against spread in the last 5 games against a conference opponent in the Conference USA. 8-0 straight up in the last 8 games. Played on a Saturday, and the unders hit 6 out of last 7 whenever they're playing as a favorite. So, Marshall, and I know you're probably thinking, oh, well, why does that matter? If they're playing on a Sunday or on a, because it matters. Marshall 4-2 against spread last 6 games. The unders hit 4 out of the last 5. They're 5-2 straight up in the last 7 games this year. The unders hit 6 out of the last 8 games this year. 1-5 straight up in the last 6 games. The unders also hit 6 out of the last 7 on a Saturday. 1-5. 1-4 straight up in the last 5 games when playing as an underdog, and 1-5 straight against the spread in the last 6 games when playing as a home favorite. But we know they're not home. This is really, really Louisiana's home.
It is.
so anywho, Marshall taking on Louisiana, Lafayette, Marley. What's the play?
I got 2 plays on this game for you, Coach. We know Marshall. Marshall is Marshall, right? Middle of the road, tough team. Normally about 7-5, 8-4. They always get to a bowl game. I'm sure they probably have a pretty good goddamn bowl record. But I'm going to take Lewis, the quarterback for Lafayette, and the Cajuns minus the 5 points. They've been on the road. They've been balling. They only got the one loss to I forgot who was that loss to. Was that
Texas?
UT? In UT,
Texas,
right?
Yeah, week 1.
Yeah, and that's it. I faded them. I think I took App State last week. I thought App State would get the revenge factor because they beat App State in the head-to-head game earlier in the season. Held them to 16 points. Even though they're banged up, that defense is for real. Only giving up 18 points a game. Offense is averaging 30. I don't think Marshall's going to be able to do a whole lot on offense. Like you said, this is practically a home game for the Raging Cajuns. And they travel actually pretty well for a lower tier team, not lower conference. Yeah, lower conference team, not one of the Power 5 or Power 6 conferences. So that being said, I like Lewis here. The quarterback's had a phenomenal year. 19 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, over 2,600 yards. Excuse me. I like the Cajuns minus the 5. I also like the under. I believe in the defense here at 53.5. Never really take college unders, especially in bowl games, but home game for the Cajuns practically. Stadium is going to be full of Cajuns. I like UL minus the 5 and the under 53.5.
All right, good pick because I'm right there with you. Home game, a dome game at that for Louisiana, ended out on the year. I might go big on this game, man. I ain't even gonna lie to you. I'm all over Louisiana. The end of the year, 13-1. Napier, I don't think he's coaching this last game. I think he's done because he's trying to get these recruits signed. I know he said he was sticking around the coach, the belt, which we had that information wrong, and that's another reason why I took App State is because I didn't think Napier was playing, so that kind of falls on me. But I think Louisiana ends the year -5. It's something about Louisiana teams playing in that stadium, especially at the end of the year. So, and the way Marshall lost their last game. That can not only psychologically can mess up the players, but the coaches as well. You're up 21-9 at home, and you give up 24 consecutive points in the third quarter, 23 consecutive points in the fourth quarter, and you don't score at all. And the game
made
is
some
over.
hell of a halftime adjustments, boy.
53-21 was the final score. Oh no, that. They still ain't right about that. They still tight. So we're definitely gonna be interesting to see how those coaches prep those kids to come out and play this game. But I know that on the other side of that sideline, them Louisiana kids gonna be amped up in the Superdome. So give me
family go be there.
What? And they're gonna be like, man, we going to Bourbon Street after this. Give me Louisiana -5. That's a lock for sure. And Lewis ends his career on a high note.
Check it out. Look, we from the bottom, ain't no problems, we gon' make a way. Got no coach on the field, but we making plays. Hey, look, don't worry, we gon' be okay. Hey, look, why? Cause we gon' make them pay. We from